up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
You are listening to Pizain's podcast on the Three Bozos Network. Yo, let's go.
Welcome to another episode of Pizain's podcast on the Three Bozos Network. I am your host, Pizain the Pizain. As always, don't forget to follow, subscribe, download our podcast on the various platforms you listen to your podcast. We're on all of them. Social media, don't forget to follow. Give us a comment. We're on X, TikTok, and Instagram. Tell your friends. Share this wonderful, beautiful podcast that you listen to. Hopefully daily. Get your daily dose of Pizain and Bose and Brooksy Boy. It'll do you good. Doctor recommended. Speaking of doctor recommended, might gonna get a little heavy in this episode. Get a little personal. Kinda tell you guys a big thing that I've been kind of keeping close to the vest for a while now. The only people who know about it are the inner circle, the Boses, close family members. So in late January of last year, I had a widowmaker heart attack at 40 years old. That's a 12% chance of survival. And I pulled through. Whole thing started. First off, don't ignore any signs that you're feeling off in any way. Sometimes it's not in your head. Looking back, there are times where my wife and I would walk around the neighborhood and I'd get dizzy. Felt like I'd have to sit down. I brushed it off like it was nothing. I noticed my feet started to swell. Well, I'll just get into it. The night it happened, my wife and I we have a hot tub, so we were in the hot tub and we got out and I noticed that my wrist started to hurt really bad, like to the point where I laid on the ground, and then that traveled up and down my arm, and then go back down to my wrist. It was a weird pain. I thought I was dehydrated, so I started drinking a lot of water and Gatorade, and try to just shake it off. When my wife went to sleep, I stayed up. So things just weren't feeling right. The pain didn't go away. I started to get this heaviness on my chest. So I woke up my wife. I told her what my symptoms were, what was going on with me. I just didn't feel right. And she asked if she should call an ambulance. And I said, I don't know. And that's about the time I started getting cold sweats from my head. My head just drenched in cold sweat. And that's when I really knew something was wrong. So I told her, yes, go ahead. Call an ambulance. So she did. So she said that my face was looking gray. So the ambulance showed up. they basically asked me what my symptoms were, how I felt. I told them I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I was maybe having a heart attack. So they gave me a shot of nitro, a little spray under my tongue. Then they stretchered me to the ambulance outside, and my son, he was not quite a year old at this time. So as I'm being, wheeled out, I hear him crying from his bedroom, and it kind of hit me right then that, that might be the last time I ever hear him again. So I got into the ambulance, and they gave me a series of tests, and she said, "I do believe you are having a heart attack. We're going to take you to the hospital." So they rushed me to the hospital very quickly. Ambulance, EMTs, they were fantastic. And as soon as I got there, they said that they were going to basically, shove a tiny camera up my groin to see if there was a blockage. So when your life's at stake, your modesty goes away real quick, because they just, rip my shorts off, and then they have to shave your balls. So all nice and smooth down there for them. And so, yeah, they got me on the emergency table, and the nurses were real soothing, everything's going to be okay, things like that. Doctor came in, and yeah, it hurts. They just cram that thing into your groin and the groin muscle, and they just keep going. I was curling my toes the entire time, and gritting my teeth, and yeah, it was scary. But I was just kind of sitting there saying, "Do your thing, doc, just do your thing." So he went through the camera and said, "Yes, you have a 100% blockage in your artery." So they went ahead and they put 2 stents in. And then once that was over, I kind of jokingly laughed and told him, like, "Well, thank you for saving my life. I really appreciate it," and I guess I was trying to make light of a serious situation. And yeah, so from there, they had they put me on. They had me on like a low drip of fentanyl, and yeah, that feels that felt nice. It kind of took a lot of the worry away, So as they were wheeling me to the recovery ICU area, I blacked out completely. I saw black. If anybody's ever had anesthesia, it kind of was like that, but deeper. It was just nothingness, black. And when I came to, I had about 6 nurses looking down on me, and they were really concerned. They had concerned looks on their faces. And they told me that they had to hook me up to the defibrillator. And when that didn't work, they had to do CPR. I coded. My wife said she was in the waiting room, and then she heard code blue, and she knew it was me. As my heart never stopped, but it got really, really out of whack, out of rhythm, and wasn't going back. So when I saw all these faces looking down on me, I knew, like, shit, I almost died. Like, about as close as you can get to death without actually dying. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be too proud to admit it. I cried. I was pretty upset for a number of different reasons. I mean, it was scary. Dying is scary. I think most of all, though, would be leaving my wife behind to raise our son by herself and not seeing my son, grow up 1 year old, and your old man keels over from a heart attack. So, it was, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to deal with. And it doesn't end there. I got out of the hospital after a couple of days. And, while you're there, they, wait on you hand and foot, and kind of sucks though, just being confined in a bed, having to piss in a jug because you can't get up to, walk to the bathroom. By the end of the last day, I was able to do that, but, yeah, then they just send you home. Like, good luck. Props to the doctor who, it was like the grace, of God that doctor was there that night in the middle of the night. And he's like one of the best heart doctors in the area. Doesn't have much of a bedside manner, but, I can let that slide for saving my life there. So they give you a lot of reading material after you go through something like that. It's really hard to wrap your head around something like that too. You Google it, widowmaker heart attack survival rate. It's 12%. That's against the odds, I felt like I was, saved for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I'm not saying this podcast is the reason. I joke about that shit and, on my today in histories and all that stuff. It's fun, but I don't think that's the reason. I'm assuming, I know actually it's to be here for my son and my family. And, maybe if I can also, spread a little bit of my experience and things you might be able to do to change your daily routine that might make you live a little longer, I'll get to that in a minute though. So when I got home, like I said, they give you some things to read about. They tell you you're going to be depressed. They don't tell you, they tell you you're going to be depressed. They tell you why. They tell you that you feel like you're letting your family down, because you almost died and left them behind. And even though they tell you those things and you see it coming, it still happens. I remember specifically, one of the things about it is I couldn't walk across the living room without being completely winded when I first got back. The incredible amount of deterioration of your stamina after something like that is something you just don't expect. So I'm a big, strong guy, and to be kind of just put into that state, and then it lasts a long time. It was, months before I was back to normal. It sucks, it's hard to deal with. And then going back to the whole letting your family down thing, I remember specifically, my wife was my rock during all this. She took care of me and the 1-year-old at the same time. And she did everything and worked and was working. And one day, it all kind of got to her, and which, the fact that it hadn't got to her before then is, superhuman of her. And, she snapped a little bit, and I just said, I'm worthless. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best, but I'm just completely worthless. And that ended up making her feel worse, which is the last thing I wanted to do because she was the one who was keeping me together at the time. And it's just an example of how the depression after a heart attack like really, hits you. And it hits everybody around you. And that's the other thing. You're not just thinking about you're depressed, you're sad. No, you're sad because, like they say, it feels like you let your family down. On top of that, I had an older sister. She passed away. Shoot, I think it's going on 10 years now. And that really hit my parents hard. Like any parent, that's your worst nightmare. And the fact that I almost did that to them again, that's another one that really, it's hard to overcome that emotional mountain between all of that stuff. But before my story, makes any of you want to go throw yourself off a building, this is where the hard work comes in. This is where you have to change your lifestyle. You almost have to reinvent yourself, who you're going to be for the rest of your life after something like that. So first off, I had to change my diet, and I had to go to cardiac rehab because, like I said, my endurance sucked. It was terrible. So we completely switched to a Mediterranean diet. I cannot recommend that enough. No, that is not eating Mediterranean food. It's a diet based in, from the Mediterranean, but it's a lot of fish and chicken, whole grains, extra virgin olive oil, vegetables, fruits, a lot of just real fresh food, no processed stuff, no fried food, no red meat, none of that stuff. So for a year, I didn't do that. I didn't eat any red meat. I didn't eat any fried food. I abstained from alcohol for a while. And then in cardiac rehab, I show up first day, and it's me, guy is 40, and a bunch of old guys. I think the next youngest guy was probably like 65, 70 years old. So, but they put you through a lot of physical rehab, a lot of, treadmill, weightlifting, stationary bike. You do that for about an hour. You work your way up, and they work your resistance up. And then after about 3 months of that, I was feeling good again. Not 100%, but feeling good again. The diet helped. I lost a lot of weight. The thing that was kind of shocking about all of it is I wasn't really heavy to begin with. Like, I'm a big guy. Like, when I was in my early 20s, I'm like 6'1", I was like 230, and I had like shredded abs. I worked out a lot. So when I say, I weighed, at the time of the heart attack, I think I weighed like 275. I was probably like 50 pounds overweight, which is still overweight and it's still bad, but it's not like I was, like 330 or, or even over 300. I wasn't. So back to what I was saying, all these lifestyle changes, ways of thinking, knowing that you can't take, it's cliche, but it's the truth. You can't take your life for granted. Live every day like it's your last. That doesn't mean, go skydiving and do whatever, but, don't waste moments. Don't waste time. If you do want to go do something, do it. Don't wait on it. Yep. There's a lot of other stuff I don't know if I quite want to get into about that. you do know who the people who really care about you are. There's, my wife, I said, she was, like my rock. The bozos were good too. Brooks and Javier, they're always following up with me, seeing if I need anything, always, asking about me. Even some of my random internet friends, that I talk about. One is NYQ, that's his name on the internet, and he even like offered to, because we found out we don't live very far away from each other, even though we're like, hey, let's just keep the internet anonymity between us. He even offered, like, hey man, if you ever need anything, let me know. I'll come help you, which I really appreciated, So I didn't take him up on it, I had people in my life, but I was, pretty nice of him, and a lot of those other guys, and they kept my spirits up, joking around, not not letting me feel sorry for myself, busting my balls when I needed it, But yeah, but other people were a little more fake about it. They tell you, oh, is there anything I can do? Oh, I'll be there for you. And then, as soon as I kind of turn that corner of, oh yeah, he's going to be okay, and he's starting to feel better and having some energy, things just kind of went back to the way they were. Dealing with a lot of stress, at that time, and thinking that I can just jump right back into those stressful situations, like a life-changing thing didn't just happen to me, and things weren't going to change. Expecting the same, bullshit that I just kind of ate for years and years. Also notice people are kind of selfish. They think about how this sort of thing affects them, making it about themselves, not really taking into consideration how the person it actually happened to, how they feel about it. Makes you a little bit resentful, a little bit angry at those people. And I think those are all, those are all normal emotions to deal with something that was so traumatic, I guess is the word. I ended up going on one of those teledoc health things, and I talked to a therapist like once every month or two. It's kind of good to have somebody to talk to who it's all about me, they don't try to relate it to them or, anything else. It's just, I get to say what's about me. I get to be selfish with my emotions, not think about how it affects other people. That sort of thing is, it's good. And I recommend that for anybody. People don't think therapy works. It doesn't work like you think it does. It's not like this Band-Aid fix it kind of thing. You have to want to work on yourself for one, but for two, if you don't have anybody to talk to, it's someone to talk to, someone who will actually listen to you. And if they're a good therapist, they'll give you some guidance on what you can do, but they don't tell you what to do. You have to figure that out on your own, So it's helpful. It's something I recommend. So fast forward through all that, and I had a visit with my cardiologist not long ago, and he said that other than the 2 stents in my heart, you can't even tell that I had a heart attack. That my heart fully recovered. I had no damage, which is also a miracle in itself. So, yeah, yippee yo, let's go with life, Fuck yeah. I tell you what does suck is the mountain of pills I have to take on a daily basis, twice a day. I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I take like 7 pills in the morning, and I take another 4 pills at night every single day. And that's not including, allergy pills or any other shit you take in between. But hey, whatever. It keeps me alive, so I'll stick with it. So my I guess parting words on this subject, because I am going to get into the news today. I'm not going to just make this about me. I want to have some sort of normalcy on this episode, pull the nose up on it, make it, not so doom and gloom. But if I had to, really drive home some things, eat right. Stop eating McDonald's. Stop eating fried food. Yeah, have a cheat day, whatever. A day on the weekend. You might even be able to get away with 2 cheat days, but for the most part, eat healthy. Eat fresh fruits, eat fresh vegetables, eat fish, eat chicken, eat whole grains, all that stuff. Make that your primary diet. Eggs, I think I'm allowed to have 1 egg or 2 egg whites, so yeah, that's good for you too. Also, exercise. Important to exercise at least 3 times a week. Even I still have trouble with that. It's tough, especially the days I work. I'm up at 6:30, out the door, I work all day. Time I get home, it's, 5, 6 o'clock, eat dinner. Got a 2-year-old running around, got to take care of him. Put him to bed. By then I'm exhausted, So you still got to find time to do it though. And however you do it, do it. I have these, hokey YouTube aerobics videos I watch, and those do it for me. Find something you like, the people you like to watch, and, keep you engaged. And this guy's Australian. It's from Team Body Project. Those guys, I like them. A lot of them are real normal body, body types. They got muscular people, fit people, they got fat people, they got average people, they got everybody. And I like their accent. But it's just real casual. They got different levels. They got like the high impact, the low impact. And they just, real positive message, try your best. Climb that mountain, So that's important. But last but not least, value your inner circle, the people who mean most to you, the people will have your back no matter what. Make sure that you, treat them right and appreciate what they do for you, and try to make some good memories with them, because, shit happens. You're here 1 minute, then you're gone. But try not to focus on the you're gone part, and focus on the here and now. So, anywho, after saying all that, on to the news. It's not really a good segue, is it? We go through all that crazy, heavy shit, and I'm going to say, okay, let's read my 1440 news feed now. But hey, that's what we're going to fucking do. So, all right. Putin in North Korea. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrives in North Korea today to meet with the country's leader, Kim Jong-un, the guy with the most stylish haircut in the world, as the two seek to strengthen and expand their relationship. Oh, no. The 2-day visit marks Putin's first trip to North Korea in 24 years and comes after he hosted Kim in the Russian Far East last year. So U.S. and South Korean officials believe North Korea has sold Soviet-era artillery, rockets, and other military equipment to Russia in its war against Ukraine, now in its 27th month since the first year of the conflict. So we're over 2 years on the Russia-Ukraine conflict. It goes into detail about what they sold them, a bunch of artillery shells and things like that. And then Russia is believed to have provided economic aid to North Korea, whose economy has contracted every year since 2020 with a gross domestic product per capita of around $1,000. Really? That's that's pretty low. So, I mean, they got to find friends somewhere, you know? Is it really that shocking? Russia has North Korea, China, and India, I'm pretty sure, are the only allies that they have that they can do business with. Fortunately for them, China and India, specifically China, though, a huge economy, so they can kind of really support themselves. You'll hear in the news the axis of evil. It's the new axis of evil. I think we're, treading on some dangerous ground, calling them the axis of evil. There we go. It's just, they've done some despicable things. I've said it before, though. At this point, Russia's won. They need to just negotiate peace at this point. Unfortunately, Ukraine has lost some of its land, some of its, ports, warm water ports, all that garbage. At what cost at this point, Are you just going to keep throwing lives at this for a war you're not going to win? We're going to keep throwing money at the Ukraine that we should be spending on Americans. At this point, it's a European problem, Things like what is going on with this war is pushing Putin into the arms of North Korea and China and, oddly enough, India. I don't think anybody cares about that one as much, but we're strengthening these ties with powerful countries. At this point, you just got to kind of cut your losses, Ukraine. It is what it is. It's not, unfortunately, it's not good. No, nobody's really rooting for Russia on this one, but you gotta be a realist. And I'm really tired of giving you money. It's like, I don't even know how much it is at this point. It's an astronomical amount. And man, we have so many problems over here that we could be taking care of with that money. But it is what it is. The Celtics clinched title. The Boston Celtics won the NBA championship last night at home, defeating the Dallas Mavericks 106-88 in Game 5 of the finals. The victory is Boston's first title since 2008 and the team's overall 18th title. The Celtics now hold the record for the most NBA championships won, surpassing the Los Angeles Lakers' 17 wins. That's one of those ones where both of the fans for both of those teams are insufferable. People from Boston have to be some of the worst human beings in the world. I hate everything from their fucking speech impediment. Yeah, that's right. They have a speech impediment. No, that's not an accent. He's like, ha, I got a bow and a ka. Wicked. That's a fucking speech impediment. Speech impediment. You can't talk. Enunciate your words. But to be fair, I don't like any other teams. The Red Sox, the Patriots. Patriots are the worst. I fucking hate the Patriots. The Bruins. Yeah. Fuck all of them. But then you have the Los Angeles Lakers. And their fans are pretty obnoxious too. Because other than the Lakers, Los Angeles doesn't have shit for sports teams. Yeah. So they all just, really go balls deep into the Lakers thing. And it's Los Angeles. That place sucks too. A bunch of fart sniffing, plastic surgery. Fucking, no, it's an earthquake. Fucking driving their EVs and, sucking Hollywood dick. And yeah, fuck them. Fuck them both. Yeah, and I guess they're the coach of the Celtics is the youngest coach to ever win a championship, or became the youngest head coach to win a championship since Bill Russell in 1969. 69, good year. The Boston Celtics were founded in 1946 as one of 8 original teams, and there you go, yippee-yo. Celtics champions again. Did like Larry Bird though. I liked later years Larry Bird, like when he was like a year or two away from retirement, where he literally like couldn't jump like an inch off the ground, but he's still sinking threes and everything else. He just looked like a lazy, out of shape bum out there. And he's still, just fucking dropping dimes. That always made me laugh. Oh, warning. Social media. U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy called on Congress yesterday to require warning labels on social media platforms like those for tobacco and alcohol to highlight their potential harm to children's mental health. Murphy identified social media as a major factor in the mental health crisis among adolescents. 3 hours of daily social media use to a doubled risk of anxiety and depression. He argued previous research showed the warning labels can raise awareness. And a Surgeon General's warning requires legislation from Congress. So just be better parents. Limit your kids' social media. I don't know. My kid's 2. I don't even know what social media will be like when he's a teenager. It'll probably be implanted in his brain. I'll try to, delay that as much as possible. Thanks, Elon. Your fucking Neuralink bullshit. But yeah, I'll probably be like in his brain, or it'll be like the stupid Apple glasses, and he'll just be like picking things out of the air. But if things kind of stay the way they are, yeah, I don't want him having any kind of social media until, like 16, whatever. And then even then, I'm going to try to limit that stuff. I want to try to get him involved in a lot of sports, Just all your time should be taken up with sports. I don't want to push it too far. I don't want him to not enjoy it. See, that happens a lot with a lot of kids. Something like their parents will push it their entire life and, don't give up, blah, blah, blah. And then they grow to hate it, and then they, don't want to do it anymore. But if it's a way, I just want to keep him active, I think. I always want to keep him with activities. Don't give him enough downtime to even flip through that shit. I will try to really hit home interaction with people and not digital interaction. But, well, we'll see how that goes. World's a changing, and it might be a lost cause, but hey, we'll see. The Florida Panthers look to win their first Stanley Cup as they take on the Edmonton Oilers with a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. I'd say it's probably likely the Panthers are going to win tonight. If they don't, start getting that hot seat start heating up. A 3-2 looks a lot less fun than 3-1 in a series. So we'll see how they do there. I could bet money on it, but honestly, the odds probably suck if you took the Panthers. Like, what's the point? Drop $100 and win like 80. but you could lose 100. Nah, not worth it. Apple battery supplier TDK claims to have developed a solid state battery with 100 times more higher energy density than those used in typical consumer electronics. So our batteries are getting better. No, you won't have to lug around your big old giant, what are those things called? Charging blocks or whatever. I don't know. I don't own one. Beetle study reveals the evolution of complex chemical defense millions of years ago allowed the bug to diversify and spread worldwide. The 400,000 known beetle species represent about 1/4 of all discovered life forms. So a quarter of, is this for real? A quarter of all life forms are beetles? I know some of those are fucking cockroaches. Fucking cockroaches. I hate cockroaches. Not a fan. We got the big palmetto bugs here. Fucking huge. They're like, I don't even describe how big they are. Like the size of like a key fob, you know? Like a big key fob. They pop whenever you step on them. Like those, those snap pops, you get at the fireworks store, you throw them on the ground and pop, pop, pop. That's what it sounds like when you stomp on a fucking cockroach that's the size of a key fob. Fuck that cockroach. Engineers develop non-invasive device to target and modulate specific brain regions. Approach may provide new therapies for neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's. Well, that's good. I am always for things that make bad things not so bad. President Joe Biden expected to announce new policy today protecting undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens from deportation, allowing them to apply for work permits and easing their path to legal residency. I didn't know that I thought that when you married somebody in the U.S., you were good to go. I mean, I think you had to prove it wasn't a fake marriage, but other than that, so, I mean, whatever, to me, this just isn't news. I guess they changed it along the way and I just wasn't paying attention. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu dissolves war cabinet after 2 former centrist generals resigned last week. Netanyahu to form smaller forum of advisors to strategize on Israel-Hamas war. So anybody that was holding him back from mass killings of innocent civilians are now gone. Yippee. That's another one that just needs to end already. What's going to happen? What's going to happen to all these civilians? These millions of civilians? Are they just going to have like no home? They're already saying, hey, send them to other countries. Send them to the US, send them to Europe, send them. I mean, they had a home, they already had a home and it's, pretty much decimated now. It's gone. Not good. Not good for the world. Not good for anyone. It might be good for Israel. That's about it. Ethnically cleanse some Palestinians. But hey, you got to respond to those terrorist attacks. You got to make sure you get those terrorists, because if you don't, the terrorists win. That's no joke. I mean, get the terrorists, sure, but fucking A, man. A lot of dead people that didn't do shit. Well, let's see. We got some little clicky baity articles. Let's see if there's anything good. It's ranking the world's happiest cities. Let's take a look at that. Let's see who we got. It's a worldwide thing. They do it by gold, silver, and bronze. Let's go with like some of the top ones. You got Aarhus, Denmark, Zurich, Switzerland. Switzerland's always really high up there. It's probably because they stay out of everybody's shit. Berlin, Germany, Gothenburg, Sweden. I'm starting to notice a trend here. A lot of Nordic type of countries. Amsterdam, yeah, well, they just fuck a lot and smoke a lot of pot there. You got Bristol in United Kingdom, Helsinki in Finland, Helsinki, sorry. Geneva, Switzerland, Copenhagen, Denmark. It's all, the same there. Minneapolis, Minnesota in the United States. That is the only United States city in... I have to call bullshit. I do not think Minneapolis is is one of the happiest cities. Let's see. Boston is in the next tier down, silver. Come on. They're like the most miserable fucks in the world. They just get drunk and, complain about their sports teams. Let's see. I'm going to fast forward into Baltimore. Okay, now this list is full of shit. Baltimore is not one of the happiest cities in the world. Have you ever seen the fucking Wire? Just go watch The Wire and this thing's full of shit because nothing's changed since The Wire except for technology. Everything's still the same. It still, kind of sucks there. Jeez. Washington, D.C. I've been to Washington, D.C. It's a shithole. Ate a hot dog. Get one from one of those vendors. Sit down and there's a fucking dead rat, just chilling next to me. Yeah. Washington, D.C. Their roads are all sucky and bumpy and traffic sucks. There's no way it's one of the happiest places. Let's do one more. San Francisco. Oh, geez. This person who did this must be blind. Yep. Okay. Let's get out of there. Fucking stupid article. What a waste of time. Upgrade your vocabulary with 10 vintage slang words. Let's see how I do here. Mutton shunter is a policeman. Is the president in town or something? There's mutton shunters on every blasted corner. Giggle mug. Habitually smiling face. These Miss American contestants are just a bunch of giggle mugs. Giggle mug. I'll give you a giggle mug. I don't know what that means. I was going to try and make a sexual innuendo out of that, and it just didn't come out. Fly rink. A polished bald head. Be sure to wear glasses if you go outside. Grandpa's fly rink is blinding today. Brooksy boy's got a fly rink. That bitch is a shiny, shiny motherfucker. Get your fly rink under control, bitch. Juggins hunting. Looking for a man who will pay for liquor. I would think it was a man trying to find a chick with big tits. Jess forgot all her cash at home, so she's off juggin' hunting again. So juggin' hunting, that's like trying to get men to buy you drinks. Sauce box. The mouth. Yes. When my kids won't stop talking, I give them some chips just to fill their little sauce boxes. I'm going to use that one. I like that one. I've been spouting a lot of bullshit out of my sauce box today. So it's a saucy box. Hey now. Bags o' mystery. A satirical term for sausages because no man but the maker knows what's in them. Hope there's no intestines in these bags o' mystery. I'm trying to cut down on intestine. Oh, I go fry up some bags of mystery. Never know what's in them. Okay, this one's a weird one. Arf, arf and arf. A figure of speech meaning drunk. Order an arf and arf, or half and half, in a London pub, and you'll receive a multi cocktail of half black beer, half ale. Add one more arf of beer to the mix, and your mug suddenly runneth over. You chum must have been arf and arf. That is drunk. That's a dumb one. If I catch anybody saying arf and arf, I'm gonna punch him in the face. Gas pipes. Name given to trousers when tight. I just saw this poor hipster get his gas pipe stuck in his unicycle spokes and totally eat curb because all the unicycle riders out there. Oh, gas pipes. That'd be something after eating some Taco Bell. Pumblechook. Human ass. From Uncle Pumblechook, a character in Dickens' Great Expectations, described as that basset of swindlers, greedy, pompous, and piggish. This fat Pumblechook at Arby's totally cut me off in his Hummer. Then he gave me a sneer in his drive-thru. So it's like calling somebody an asshole, a Pumblechook. You Pumblechook. Yeah, I might use that one too. Pumblechook. I like Pumblechook, and I like Saucebox. Rowdy dough. That's a riot. A play on row. 18th century slang for quarrel or rowdy, also spelled rowdy dow. When the police arrived to break up the Scrabble feud, it escalated into a full-on rowdy dow. Oh, I got plenty of rowdy dows these days. Oh my, riots and protests and rowdy dows. And there you go. We'll end it on the rowdy dow. Don't forget your Pumblechooks and your sauce boxes. Open up that sauce box. Fill it full of sauce. And, well, there you go. Wells Fargo hit with mouse jiggler scandal. This actually says clickbait on it. So let's click and get baited. Wells Fargo employees fired for faking being at their desk. More than a dozen bank staffers were let go for simulating keyboard activity. Oh, mouse jigglers, huh? So it makes it seem like you're at your desk and your mouse just jiggles and jiggles and jiggles, and your computer doesn't fall asleep. The times have changed. You can buy them off of Amazon. I might know a person or two who uses a mouse jiggler, but I won't out them about it. Why would I? I don't want them to end up like the Wells Fargo employee fired for faking being at their desk. Maybe they have a good reason for it, like their job is stupid. Who knows? That's pretty funny, though. All right, well, you know what time it is. It's time for a day in history. The U.S. declares war against Great Britain as War of 1812 begins. In 1812, Paul McCartney was born in 1942. Sally Ride becomes first American woman in space in 1983. And 5 people die after submersible implodes while exploring wreckage of the Titanic. We all remember that one. Remember, they were like, oh, they're still alive. We're looking for them. But nope, they got crushed instantly. Quick death. That's the way to go. And now they're talking about doing it again. Doing it again. Like, we don't learn things from history. Oh, no. Well, here I have a quote here from Mr. Paul McCartney on his collaboration with John Lennon. The two of us were on fire every time we sat down to write. Well, instead of being two of us, there are three of us. And I do say the three of us are on fire every time we sit down to do the big show on the Three Bozos Network. If you haven't listened to the latest big show, please do. We talk about all sorts of things, like the cup of death and spinach and eggs. And, well, if you want to know what else, you'll have to listen. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, download our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. We're there. Follow us on social media, X, TikTok, and Instagram. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Give us a comment. I read them all. I'll comment back. I'll say, "What's up, homie? What's shaking?" Yeah. And tell your friends. Say, "Hey, listen to those three cool guys. They talk about a lot of cool shit and some not so cool shit. And sometimes they just go, and there's a long silence, just like that. Well, that's about all I have for you people today. Thank you for sticking through to the end. We had a heavy beginning, talking about some really heavy shit. You know, things that came from my heart, though, and hopefully it touched yours as well. And you're not touching yourself listening to my voice. Hey, if you are, that's flattering. I appreciate it. And through those somber beginnings, we went through a journey of what's going on in the world, and I believe ended on a upbeat, uptick note. So, anywho, until next time, yippee-yo, let's go. See ya.